thing is to do something that is horrible. I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power, and then well, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? Like all this Diddy shit is coming.
And then there's the part nobody wants to sit with for too long. The idea that this wasn't a short chapter or a one-off situation. This was something that allegedly went on for years, decades, even long enough that the number of people affected could be far larger than anyone realizes. And the reason it stayed quiet for so long wasn't confusion. It was fear. People believed that speaking up didn't just come with consequences, it came with real danger. The kind of danger that makes silence feel like survival.
Great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Right now, the comment sections are flooded with arguments about who exactly 50 Cent was calling out in that Diddy documentary series. Everyone's trying to decode the shots. But then Joe Rogan shifted the entire conversation by pointing out something else entirely. He suggested that some very familiar names weren't mentioned at all. And a lot of people don't think that omission was accidental. Because when a federal case dominates the headlines, the real story isn't only about who gets named out loud. It's also about who suddenly disappears, who stops showing up, who quietly creates distance, who moves as if they can feel the spotlight slowly swinging in their direction. And right now, one name keeps coming up more than many expected: Ellen DeGeneres. As the Diddy conversation started heating up again, Ellen all but vanished from public view. She quietly relocated, later resurfacing in England, and has kept an extremely low profile ever since. Publicly, the explanation was simple: politics. Discomfort with the direction things were heading after the 2024 election. A desire for peace and privacy. That's the clean version. But online, people keep questioning the timing. To them, it doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like pressure. Because when a massive story resurfaces, the past doesn't stay buried. Old clips get replayed. Old friendships get re-examined. And quiet exits suddenly feel loaded with meaning.
Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot. I can't tell. I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird.
This is where Diddy becomes impossible to separate from the conversation. Ellen and Diddy weren't just casual industry acquaintances. They appeared genuinely close. He was a frequent guest on her show. They joked together, laughed easily, and leaned into his party-heavy reputation as if it was harmless fun. At the time, it all played like light entertainment. But with today's context, those same moments land very differently. The tone changes completely. The footage doesn't feel innocent anymore. Not because it proves anything outright, but because once the mood shifts, certain things can't be unseen. And the conversation doesn't stop there. With everything being discussed about Diddy's after-hours world, along with non-stop online rumors about private recordings, people start reanalyzing the energy around anyone who was closely connected to him. And when the internet locks onto a narrative, it doesn't quietly speculate. It hunts. For years, there have been whispers that Ellen's private life didn't fully align with her polished public persona. People keep revisiting old relationships, questioning how they ended, and wondering whether things were ever as random as they were made to seem. Then there's the conversation around Twitch. Steven, Twitch boss, wasn't just a DJ on the show. He was treated like family. His death shocked a lot of people. And even though the official explanation has been public for a long time, theories never fully went away. Not facts. Just speculation that flares up again whenever bigger stories dominate the news cycle. And that's the pattern. Once people think there's smoke, they start checking every corner for fire. Stack it all together. Ellen staying out of sight. Changing her appearance. Keeping a low profile. Meanwhile, the Diddy headlines continue evolving, and the rumor mill keeps insisting that more names could be pulled into the spotlight. So the question becomes simple. If that spotlight swings again, does Ellen's name stay buried, or does it resurface? And that leads directly into the next name, Ashton Kutcher. Because when the public starts re-examining timelines, it's not only about actions. It's about proximity. Where you were, who you were around, and how comfortable you looked in certain rooms. Old clips are trending again, and people swear Ashton looks completely at ease in those elite party environments. Smiling, dancing, blending in. Not like someone passing through, but like someone enjoying himself. And things got uncomfortable fast when Ashton was asked about those parties publicly. Instead of a clean, confident denial, viewers noticed the pauses. The nervous laughter. The stumbling answers. The kind of response that makes people feel like something is being left unsaid.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? We are on the plane right now, on our way to Vegas. It's called What Happens in Vegas Stays in Vegas. I'm here with this is my new best friend right here. My new best friend. Hello. Rusty Rocket.
Is this for Twitter?
Yeah, yes. Also known now on like a date, a straight guy date, like to a guy's night, 48 hours.
With a normal date between like a man and a woman, or perhaps two gay men or lesbian women, the best possible result of that date is.
The scrutiny intensified when people remembered that Ashton and Mila wrote letters defending Danny Masterson after his conviction. That decision sparked massive backlash. Not long after, Ashton stepped away from the anti-trafficking organization he helped co-found. For many viewers, this wasn't just controversy. It became a question of judgment. Because once the public labels a circle as toxic, anyone who defends someone from that circle gets dragged into the same mess. Add in the chatter about rumored footage, names being thrown around, and Ashton's repeated presence in those party spaces, and the whole situation starts to feel deeply uncomfortable. He says he was just around it. But people keep asking the harder question. How deep was Ashton really involved in Diddy's chaotic world? And once that question sticks, it doesn't stop with him. Because the internet doesn't look for a single name. It looks for a chain. Next on that chain is Russell Brand. At first, many brushed it off as noise. Then old clips resurfaced. Brand and Diddy laughing together on a private jet. And the vibe alone made people pause.
Diddy's new to me, right? He looked after me. He took me on an enforced holiday to Vegas. He's a very intense man because I think he come from nothing and now he's very, very powerful. People that do stuff like that, they're intense. Now, I like him. He's very influential. Say that you don't want to do something and Diddy does want you to do it. It's really hard to not do that thing.
Is it the mind?
In one of those clips, Brand even described feeling controlled, like he didn't really have a choice and had to go along with what was happening.
The best party I've ever been to was at Blank's house.
Puffy's 50th birthday. It was so sick.
Yeah.
Epic.
So with all the talk about Diddy's alleged manipulation and power dynamics, people start connecting dots. They keep asking how far Russell Brand was pulled into that world. Was he just a passenger along for the ride? Or did he witness things most people couldn't even imagine? And that's why the resurfacing footage and timelines keep forcing people to rethink what they thought they knew. Then Paris Hilton's name starts circling again. And it turns out she wasn't just a distant acquaintance. She was front and center at major, high-profile events for years. She appeared regularly around Diddy at massive gatherings. The white-themed parties. The birthday blowouts. The nights that made headlines. And now, old posts and throwback clips are trending again, being watched through a completely different lens. And back then, she wasn't shy about praising the scene.
Died from pneumonia, but there's
The first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
People keep pointing to a 2017 post that's resurfaced recently, where Paris hyped up one of Diddy's house parties as unforgettable. She talked about having an epic time, called him talented, said the energy was wild, even used the phrase, heart of gold. And now people are dragging that post back into the spotlight hard. One comment reads, "Wait, she went to those parties? You know what that means." Another says the heart of gold line hits very differently now. Because once the tone changes, compliments stop feeling casual and start feeling like receipts. Not because they prove anything on their own, but because they show how people spoke before anyone felt nervous. So now the questions are everywhere. Did she just show up, party, and leave? Or did she see more than the public ever realized? How much did she actually know about what happened behind closed doors? And if she knew anything at all, was there pressure to stay quiet? And right as those questions start to settle in, the conversation turns darker. Because people don't just focus on guests. They start looking at the people closest to the center. Which brings up the next name, Kim Porter. For years, people have questioned the timeline surrounding her death. And online, it never fully sat right. Not because anyone has proof, but because when people feel like there was no real closure, speculation creates its own narrative. Let's be clear. Kim wasn't just connected. She was Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children. That meant she was close to the inner circle for a very long time. And because of that proximity, people online speculate that she may have seen things that didn't align with the public image. Moments, conflicts, or information the public never had access to. Then she got sick. Pneumonia was listed as the official cause. And the internet did what it always does. Some treated the timing like a mystery. Others saw it as too convenient. Theories circulated. Not confirmed facts. Just the kind of talk that grows when people feel unanswered questions were left behind.
Yeah, my mom's good. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
And once the public starts examining inner circles, it doesn't stop with partners. It moves to family. Because if the story is bigger than one person, people assume the system around them helped keep it running. That's why attention has shifted to Janice Combs, Diddy's mother. In online narratives, she isn't always framed as just a supportive parent. Some portray her as someone who understood the game early. Charm, control, power. Someone who helped shape how the empire operated. People claim she wasn't just watching from the sidelines. And they pull up old clips, strange moments, and body language to support their theories.
Man that I've come to know over the past 4 years. So she talks about in those years how they were in a public relationship. And she says she came to know a completely different person. She says that Diddy motivated her. He believed in her. He helped her grow both professionally and personally. And she says that she's writing this letter because she believes it's important to the court to know.
Footage they interpret a certain way. Viral snippets reposted again and again. Whether those visuals mean anything or not, they keep being used as fuel. And it's not helping her image online. So the argument becomes this. Was she simply protecting her son? Or was she quietly part of what kept the entire machine running behind the scenes? Then the conversation slides to young Miami. And honestly, it's not surprising she's included. She stayed publicly loyal through a lot. Even as leaked footage and headlines made things harder to defend. People remember her saying he was working on himself. Therapy. Growth. Healing. Part 10. But critics aren't buying that explanation. They frame it as benefits. Private jets. Designer access. The lifestyle. One comment put it bluntly. She's there for the money. Then the rumors pile on. Claims that she was around those after-hours spaces too. People pointing to symbols. Small details. Repeated comparisons in comment sections, like the white nails theory people refuse to drop. None of it is proven. But it spreads because it fits the storyline people already believe. And once a storyline sticks, even the smallest details get treated like evidence. Now the conversation sounds like this. If the ship is sinking, anyone still standing on deck might go down with it. Especially if more names surface. Especially if new footage ever trends that the public can't explain away. So what do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Who's just loyal? And who might be sitting on something that could blow everything wide open? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're here for raw timelines and bold breakdowns, hit like, subscribe, and click the next video on your screen right now.
But critics don't buy it. They frame it as perks. The jets, the designer lifestyle, the access. One comment put it blunt, she's there for the money. And then the rumors stack on top. People claiming she was around those after-hours circles too, pointing at symbols and little details that keep getting repeated in comment sections. Like the white nails comparison people won't let go of. None of that is proven. But it spreads because it fits the storyline people want. And once a storyline sticks, even small details get treated like they matter. And now the chatter sounds like this. If the ship is sinking, anyone still standing on deck might go down with it, especially if more names surface. Especially if new footage ever trends that the public can't explain away. So what do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Who's just loyal? And who's sitting on something that could blow the whole thing wide open? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're here for raw timelines and bold breakdowns, hit like, subscribe, and click the next video on your screen right now.